Sole rebels in charge of Hanukkah Day. My kids didn't go to school for the first day of Hanukkah because fuckface Fauci will be collecting his pension regardless of how many family-run, generational businesses were forced to pull the plug on their God-graced yet self-made imposed American dream come true. In addition to lifetimes worth of sweat, sacrifice, courage, and tears with self-doubt, financial instability, and incessant trash talking from dream detractors at large, always nipping at their heels around the corner under his alleged all-knowing savior watch. My kids didn't attend school for the first day of Hanukkah because it's the festival of lights, and most festivals like the original Woodstock had its fair share of crazy lights, man. Plus, watching the Woodstock documentary feels like a never-ending mudslide trip down the Catskills Mountains on bad acid. So it's not as if I'm encouraging my kids to stay in Mardi Gras in college one day longer than Daddy did, knowing my punctured brain has been playing perpetual catch-up ever since. My kids didn't attend school for the first day of Hanukkah because my wife screwed up the dates and arranged a play date. Hanukkah get-together with my daughter and son's best friend for the first night, and I needed their help to clean up the house, or else I'd be resenting Mama's existence forever more so than usual. Mommy called me awful because in the name of Hanukkah spirit, I told her to remove the white Christmas stockings before our kids' friends came over to celebrate the first night of Hanukkah. Earlier that evening wasn't helping. The more prominent white Christmas tree overshadowing all of our Hanukkah decorations in sight is already giving my son's Hanukkah blue balls, babe, and it's a tad early to hear Santa's sleigh bells ringing. My kids didn't attend school for the first day of Hanukkah because transgender Father's Day is a thing now. So on the first night of Hanukkah, my children identify with direct descendants of the Maccabee tribe who inspired our new Jewish family tradition holiday. Soul rebels in charge of Hanukkah Day. Can I get a holla for an A-plus national holiday for the Kornbluth family, for any other Jewish family that wants to participate? Holla. Thank you very much. One day's worth of oil burning for 8 glorious nights was a God-given miracle, but the splashier, more box office miracle performed was the divinely powered Maccabees reclaiming their temple, national identity, and Jewish law-powered way of life, who refused to let the Greek Syrians desecrate their temples, rob their religious freedoms, and turn their collective backs on the one and only mighty one, where all good stems from, Jack. My kids didn't attend school the first day of Hanukkah because during the hardcore Hellenization of Israel under Greek Syrian rule, rabbis were put to death for refusing to eat the pork schnitzel being jammed down their throats against their will, which sharply contrasts the tradition-dissing, non-practicing, Israel-demonizing Linda Sarsour retweeting overweight hipster and Bushwick today. The same blah-breath, over-the-hill hipster hack who never had a prime to boast about in the first place, who is physically unable to perform the mitzvot of be fruitful and multiply because he has to constantly pull out of his girlfriend's perpetual frumpy snatch from excessive meat sweats. Chances are the same secular Jewish resistor writer for Thrillless, plagued with surly, unfunny, smarmy disease, would have sold out his family at Auschwitz for one more bite of pork schnitzel of George Soros's Jew round-up superior's boots. Can I get a holla for Alex Jones Lives? Holla! Thank you very much! My kids didn't attend school for the first day of Hanukkah because my kids aren't allowed to have sweets at school anymore because their age of innocence hasn't been bludgeoned to death enough already in the name of keeping the effectiveness of hydrochloroquine on the down low. And if Joe Biden is allowed to become president, how will he stop the fake news sham behind the corona pandemic? Will he tell everyone that we could still keep our doctors of choice as long as they don't prescribe us hydrochloroxine and don't have their medical license revoked on the spot? Can I get a holla for preaching the gospel a long time? Bill Gates, you could suck my monster Jew schlong long time. Holla. Thank you very much. So much for holding back. So, I'll homeschool. So I did homeschool my 3 kids the first day of Hanukkah on killer dreidel spinning techniques before we actually spin for real deal gelt, which is gold wrapper covered milk chocolate, which easily outshines stick to your fingers immediately candy canes any day of the week. I'm convinced Santa's little helpers use candy canes as the main ingredient additive for Gorilla Glue to keep their gingerbread houses together next time Santa pounds too much eggnog on an empty stomach because he'd rather puke his brains out than eat another gluten-free cookie. Can I get a holla for an A+ gem? You're welcome. Holla. Thank you very much. Plus, later that evening, for the first night of Hanukkah, I'll have my son, Jeremiah, explain to his Gentile friend Sam about the rules of dreidel when he says, Sam, Gimel means give me all your gelt that I loaned you anyway because we control the Federal Reserve and all the banks in the North Pole too. My kids didn't attend school for the first day of Hanukkah in honor of Sharia law not being the law of our land yet. Last, Daddy, dude old Daddy over here is sick, self-hating, unimpressive, edgeless, perpetually raggy Jews at the New York Times or at the Atlantic for disparaging Hanukkah as an inferior prequel ripoff like the new Star Wars films, including highlights like when we learned Chewie is now a woke Wookiee pescatarian. Most religious Jews don't believe the Messiah has arrived yet because peace on earth is impossible when the UN funds terrorist trust funds, which pay terrorists to dig tunnels into Israel with the purpose of kidnapping and murdering Israeli children. If you want to talk about actual, intentional, systematic genocide, Babyface Omar. And on a related note, how does Babyface Omar, how does she celebrate the anniversary of Amy Winehouse's death exactly? Did she tweet, something happened, some devil horn hiding beehive sporting Jewess who exploited the Great Palestinian Songbook? For all it was worth, can I get a holla for A+ Gemry? Holla. Thank you very much. So, technically speaking, Hanukkah has less in common with Christmas than Kwanzaa because chances are BLM has hijacked that holiday, blaming Jewish slumlords for not offering free rent forever until Public Enemy is picked to rewrite the national anthem after clearing with the Muslim Brotherhood first. Wait a minute, I think that happened already since Deshaun Jackson faced no major consequence for retweeting quotes from Farrakhan while still educating himself on Hitler. But hey, Snoop Dogg says Farrakhan's a great man, and you gotta respect Snoop's opinion, knowing his brain hovers a notch below pornhood hell. My kids did not attend school for the first day of Hanukkah because that first day is now in the Corn Booth household an all-day festival celebration of divinely powered, more than justifiable Israeli might through God giving the Hebrew hammer Judah Maccabee and his tribe of soul rebel nationalist Jews the superhuman strength necessary to lead the Maccabean revolt against the Greek dynasty of its day. The same Greek empire tried to commit genocide against the foundation of all Jewish culture, Jewish law, and nationalistic identity by tainting our temple with images of their Greek god Zeus in charge of loud rain. The same Greek mythology flushed with stories of snatch attack nymphomaniacs, similar to how female Chinese spies are deep fanger vessels of super spreader evil today. Can I get a holla for preaching old school history in relation to perverted, woke world gone crazy, modern times? Holla. Thank you very much. My kids did not go to school for the first day of Hanukkah because without the God-powered miracle behind the Maccabees rising against the all-powerful Greeks Without the aid of Vin Diesel from knockaround guys to lead the charge, my 2 sons would have never been circumcised. If we took the cowardly way out and allowed a religion to get strangled into pagan, worshipping submission forever, abandoning all Torah commanded directions such as circumcise your kid schmackle. And if that happened, if I never got my kids circumcised because my ancestors didn't stand up against the Maccabees, then, because of that, the odds of my sons being able to turn on any bussy Jewess heiress from Yanta country in Long Island or from the island in Manhattan later in life, after they would reveal their non-circumcised mound of round, would become significantly less, thereby forcing my beautiful boys to bury their heads in shame forever. This is the Do It All Dad Year podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. What Gen X dads understand. Controlling our kids' economy can make our kids great again. The Great American Jew novel available on sale on Amazon and Kobo. Audio versions are available too. And we've got an audio review coming up which should continue the star-studded reviews that the book has received so far. I couldn't have written the book without your sustained support from this podcast and from my Do It All Dad Year blog. Thank you very much. Happy Hanukkah, and I'll talk to you guys soon.